Welcome to a demonstration of the Audit Logger by Pacific Tech Solutions. My name is Mark from Computrack, and I will be showing you a brief demonstration of what this product does. So Sage in itself does not really capture all the entries and transactions and processes conducted by every single user in the system. For that, you would need this third-party product. It's called Audit Logger. Okay. In terms of setup, it's very simple. It's got all the modules that you use here, and basically for every module, it's got essentially every screen that you would expect. So for AP transactions, these are all the different screens that you would have in Sage. AP vendors, the same thing. Okay, so if I go to AP vendors, you're going to have the same options here. And so within each option, so you can select different levels of security or data capturing. You can just say none. Okay. Or you can have low, and or you can have high, or you can have custom. So I'll explain all that to you. So if I just open up vendors, so these are all the, when you're in your AP vendor screen, if I open up vendors here, okay, these are all the fields that apply to AP vendors. Okay, so if I say high, it's basically going to capture every change made to every single field in the AP vendor screen. Now you can turn off certain fields just by double clicking here. Now it's not going to capture those fields, so you will not be able to get any sort of information on whether or not these fields have changed. Okay. There's something called record. These are basically the two different types of fields used. Record. The record fields are things that you can't change on the screen here, like they're basically, let's say, for instance, here, remit to location. These are things that are recorded by the system when you're entering a vendor that you can't change. The system actually applies it itself. Okay, so let's say, for instance, balance due, total paid invoices. This is information that you may see in the vendor profile, but they're calculated by the actual transactions, so you cannot change those. Okay, but you can basically turn them off if you don't want to the system to capture them. Okay. So, for instance, I've just selected, if I start changing any of these, for instance, if I turn, let's say, I don't want to capture address line 2, now that automatically changes this at audit level to custom because I've customized it. Okay, you can send it back to high, which is basically it's going to capture everything. So I'll just take I'll just do a quick example of, I'm logged in right now as admin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as myself. And I'm going to change, let's say, I'll change the address on a vendor. Go to 1400, I'll just say, apartment 100. Okay, that's all I'm going to change here. What I might also do is I'm going to go into the GL batch list. Here's a batch. I'm going to open this batch. This is actually entered by admin, but I'm going to post it. So normally you would not see who posted the transaction, but Audit Logger will capture that. So now I'm going to log back in as admin because I haven't given myself the rights to pull information from Audit Logger. I could have. So if I go back down to Audit Logger, so basically you can pull information either through a report or an inquiry screen. I like to use the inquiry screen. So what I'm going to want to do is I want to take a look at everything that Mark has done. So I'm going to say yes, apply. Okay, so basically, if you look at 3/26 on September the 15th, I changed vendor 1400. Okay, and I changed the old value. I changed address line too. The old value being blank, the new value being 100. Okay. In the GL, I went into batches, batch list. I opened up a batch list, and in this particular batch, it says that I posted the batch. Okay, I actually post the batch, and it says that it was I who did it, and it basically tells you the time and the day. So it continues to capture information. If you want, you can filter that view. You can say no, I just want to look at any changes to AP vendors. Okay, I actually made 2 changes, one earlier today, where I changed somebody's address. Okay, that was vendor 1200. And the one I just did to vendor 1400, I changed their address as well. So you can basically, when you do your setup here, you can go to each and every module that you want to capture information on. So you may not want to capture, for instance, in transactions. If you want to start capturing, most people use Audit Logger to capture changes to master file information like vendors' addresses, customers' addresses, item information. Not so much individual transactions, only because the database gets to be very large when you're capturing every single transaction performed by every single user. But you don't have to, for instance, capture, if I go into, let's say, purchase orders. So when it comes down to, let's say, doing a purchase order, you don't have to capture every single piece of information, okay? And in fact, this is a custom account. The system comes with a custom default. It knows that people don't want to capture every single piece of information on every transaction, but you can capture certain information on the transaction if you want. Okay, so that you're not actually capturing everything. For every table that you're capturing information, you have an option here to purge it, because once you get to like 3 or 4 years, you're going to have a huge amount of data. So you have an option to say, okay, I only want to keep data for 365 days. So on the 366 days, any transactions done over a year ago will automatically get purged. Or you can say number of transactions. I only want to capture, 1,000 transactions on this particular table, purchase order table. After that, you can just delete anything over like 1,000 transactions. So that sort of like allows you to monitor and control the amount of data that the system is capturing. But you can see that it can capture a lot of information here. It's just a matter of going through each one of your modules and asking what type of information do you really want to capture. Okay, you can just en masse, you can just change. You can just say I want to capture everything in inventory control. Okay, so then once you go into transactions, you're going to see that everything has been captured. Every single field in every single transaction has been captured. If you want to start removing some of this, you can see it's going to change to custom now. So that's basically all there is to Audit Logger. It's a matter of finding out exactly what's most important to you in terms of like capturing information. Maybe just, you know, who posted batches, who entered batches, who changed important information, you know, even if it comes to payroll, who's changed employee information, who's changed pay rates, you know, and you can go back in time. You can say, you know, with this inquiry screen, you can say, okay, between this date and this date, I want to know what this person has done in this specific module. Okay. Also, there's a report. You can get a hard copy of the report. It's basically going to ask you for the same information. And these reports are all crystal reports. They can be customized if you don't like the format. I'll just print this one here. Presumably it's going to pick everybody. I'll just pick myself. So this is all the transactions that I've done just today. Okay. The last one, posting a batch, that GL batch. Okay, it was batch 198. And really, that's all there is to Audit Logger. So basically, in summary, it's going to capture any important transactions that you feel need to be captured. It'll tell you who performed the process, what exactly that person did in terms of changing data, posting data, deleting data, and that's it. Thank you for your time.